Tommy Robinson, you've been targeting our mosques, now we're going to target your church. Of course we ain't going to target your church. We're not like that. That's exactly what you want. That's exactly the kind of response that you're looking for. You're trying to push the Muslim community. You're trying to agitate us, and we're not going to give it you. This church has been here for as long as the Muslim community in Stoke has been here. We've never targeted churches, and we've always shown respect for places of worship. So then why is it that you're targeting our mosques? Why is it that you're targeting our Muslim women and our Muslim community? It's because your Zionist backers, they've got a certain agenda that they're trying to push. Oh, British people, wake up. Understand, the establishment are using Tommy Robinson as a little pawn to try and cause a division between the Muslim community and the rest of society. And we're not going to buy it. Message to the British people, do your own research. We're not bad people. You want to save your children, we want our children to be safe as well. You want to live a good standard of life, we want to live a good standard of life as well. And a message to the Muslim community, do not get sucked up and do not get used and taken advantage of by reacting in a way that the media and the politicians want you to react. Stay safe, defend your mosques, and do not cross the boundaries that Islam has written for you.
Okay, greetings. Now that video sets the tone of tonight's stream, in which I actually found it on Mr. Cheswick's YouTube channel. So kind of all credit to him. I don't believe that is Mr. Cheswick talking. He's taken the video from somewhere, but I'm not 100% sure who the original uploader is. So if anyone knows who that person is talking on there, it looks like it came from TikTok or somewhere like that. Speaking of that, actually some of the footage we're watching this evening does come from TikTok. I've noticed that they have someone's uploading a lot of content on there supposedly of these riots that are going on, because I don't know, are white supremacists supposed to be really angry that hotels are being used to house people from other countries? I believe that's what's winding everyone up here, at least, although it just, by possibly sheer coincidence, it is not just the United Kingdom where people are in an outrage. Did you know it's also going on in, just by sheer coincidence, I'm sure all nations decided to uprise against their governments at the same time. Nigeria, Kenya, the UK and other countries facing protests in 2024. In fact, let me just show you where that original video came from. Mr. Cheswick, Muslim guy exposes the lies and propaganda and the overall agenda. And yeah, thanks for uploading that one, Mr. Cheswick, because I'm with you on it. I'm actually going to pop it in the live chat very quickly. If anyone wants to watch it for themselves. But these riots are one of those things that it's very difficult to avoid hearing about. It's being chucked at us left, right and centre. Everyone's angry by all accounts, they would have you believe. And yeah, the guy in the video, whomever he may be, there doesn't seem to be a link to the original upload. Perhaps Mr. Cheswick's like me and isn't able to post links to websites which aren't on YouTube. Sorry, any links away from YouTube. But yeah, the video footage is coming at us thick and fast. Right, let me just make this a bit more readable. Right. Yeah, my computer's on a bit of a go slow. You'll have to forgive me. Something is draining its resources. I've probably got too many. Right, why isn't that? Oh, perhaps it was narrating. Enter immersive. Here we go. Okay, the global landscape in 2024 is marked by significant and widespread unrest across various countries, with its distinct causes and dynamics. From far-right movements in the UK to anti-government protests in Bangladesh, and from economic grievances in Kenya to solidarity-driven unrest in Lebanon, the common thread in these protests is the demand for better governance, transparencies and accountability, These movements underscore the growing impatience and frustration among citizens worldwide with their respective governments. See, I'm gonna say that, as the guy in the video suggested, although I'm not blaming Tommy Robinson, I don't think Tommy's much more of a force than, say, someone like Tony Blair, or, you know, any don't know why his name popped to mind, Tony Blair, or any other, you know, Boris Johnson, whoever the current Prime Minister is. Just another puppet. I don't think he's much beyond worthy of listening to, other than just to give us a reason to hate, a reason to be angry, a reason why we should be going out on the streets. Funny thing is, though, if you do go out there, even if you were to get arrested for trashing a police car or something, you would not get your face in the paper, I don't think, because it seems the only people that get much attention. We'll just go back to the original view of this website and we'll look at some of the pictures that come up. Actually, perhaps... Right, can we get a better... Here we see... yeah, I've just put a little key up on the screen, actually, in case anyone's not familiar with what I've said in some of my recent videos that I've put up. And that is, whenever you watch footage, particularly of people smashing up police cars, lobbing petrol bombs at police officers, the people doing it seem to wear a very specific dress code, and it would suggest to me that this is what you would call a rent-a-mob. Like, you know, we need to go out and capture some footage of people getting angry. Please, can we hire 20 actors just to play a little part in a sectioned off area where the general public won't have access to? More or less a controlled drill. We'll make sure we fill the areas up with police officers that no one will get by, and then this controlled group can make it look like civil unrest is really taking place, but it isn't, of course. It's part of the fiction. And how do you know that? Well, we're going to have a look at we're going to look for some of the following in the upcoming photos and videos we're going to watch. The main group of antagonists, rioters, protesters, will be wearing black and white, like 90% of them, maybe even 95%. You'll get the rest will be made up of people in either red, blue, or green outfits, and they all play quite important roles. I've got on the screen that red is a director. I think it's also a photographer or someone that films as well, also seem to be given red. Blue or green is a key character, someone that's got to someone that's, say, got to smash a window, or they'll generally be daubed in blue or green. So we'll keep that key on screen for just a minute and have a look at some of the footage. Wow, it sounds like an absolute... I don't know. Thought it had a gale blowing outside, but it's just a train going by. Okay. The main majority of people wearing black and white. You've got the few people wearing red, blue, or green. Okay, let's go back down, look at some of the other pictures. Here we've got images of people in the United Kingdom. These people in blue, I'm not sure if they're security, but they look very relaxed. Yeah, black and white with the odd person. Let me take a little a close-up of what we're looking for here. You know, and you might say, well, what does that prove? Most people are wearing black and white. But yeah, my suggestion is that it proves that these scenes where we see people supposedly rioting, fighting, looking scary, there's your red shorts, very common. Yeah, these guys just here in the blue. Can we make this any thicker? Yeah, these guys in the blue, I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, they're just security. They're clearly not trying to stop anything. But with the great majority just wearing the standard black and white that they're all required to wear. Again, woman just happens to be wearing a black and white t-shirt, and a guy in a red and green hat at the back. But let's see some of the video footage then. What is the very first thing we see when we look at this riot? Hopefully you can see the image. Let me just bring up a monitor so I can see how well you can see what's going on. One sec. Also make sure things are playing back all right. It's quite rare these days that anyone ever says hello in the live chat, so although we've got Jeff Gashead, great to see you in there. Thanks for being with us this evening. Yeah, here we see in what this is Nigeria, where they just so happen to also be very angry at their government. Sheer coincidence, I'm sure. Nothing that this is just probably. Yeah, it's almost we've reached the end of Pride Month, so people have been warmed up going out into the streets and voicing their belief system, as it were. They've been warmed up with a nice visit to Pride, and now we're saying, right, go out and express yourself. I hope I'm not the only people that can see the red jackets there in the background. Jean, Cam and Graham, great to have you both with us as well as Jeff. Thanks for being in the live chat this evening. I do appreciate it. Maybe I'm streaming a lot later this evening. Perhaps after 11 is a better time. Right, we'll carry on watching this video. Sorry, got distracted. Hello, also to anyone that happens to be watching on Rumble. Okay, again, majority of people wearing white and black. Obviously, you know, people do come out. Perhaps not everyone is told you have to wear black and white. So maybe some of the footage that we see, by the way, he's got his red shorts on, this guy in the white t-shirt at the back, and he happens to be filming, although a lot of people are carrying cameras. But I've never turned up at a gig acting as a rent-a-mob, so I can't say myself how it goes. I came across the channel on the platform 153 News. A wonderful content producer over there called Jeffersonian Girl put some videos up pointing out that in cases of civil unrest, you will always see the same color coding. Oh, why do I? Right. Obviously, this is just peaceful protest at the minute. By the way, red t-shirt, there's one of your directors. Just on the right of the screen, you've got another one just around the back. Under the sign where it says end attacks on free press. Yeah, you've got your red tops with the great majority wearing black and white. This is, yeah, end bad governance. A few people in the background wearing black and white. Okay, here we go again. Oh, goodness sakes. Right. Again, majority of people in the shot are wearing, you know, the usual colours. And there we are. We've got a guy on the far right of the screen. Hang on, hopefully I've lined up my screen alright. I don't think I have. Hang on, can you see it? No, unfortunately you cannot. You'll have to take my word. There is a guy in red. They're everywhere in this. Here we go. Look at these people running. I suppose you've got a good array of colours there. However, you have got the very obvious red peppered through the crowd. Yeah, this is just videos of kids running. I don't know if they're supposed to be running from anything particular. Yeah, a guy in the back with a red hat on, again, just signifying He is. Okay, so that's Nigeria. Hopefully, and I would recommend anyone, if you're like me and you just can't, I don't want to watch a presenter, you can't avoid watching this, coming across this rubbish, then have a look for yourself. We've even got protesters have gone to Abuja Stadium. Yeah, this is a long video. We're not going to watch hours of this. Well, okay. I'm fairly happy. Yeah, there's a lot more videos on here, by the way. Let's just watch just one more before we move on. This is only a couple of minutes. It's the same thing going on. By the way, did we catch that red bus? This is the crisis actors, maybe the blue and white one at the front as well. But yeah, this is all the people the actors being brought in on the bus. They're all on that red bus, would be my guess. Or at least that's a prop that will be used in the filming. Again, you've got a guy, very clearly an organizer. He's got the branding on. He's got a red and white t-shirt just under the sign that says student grants, not loans. With the great majority of people just wearing black and white in that shot. Black and white at the background, of course. Here we have maybe, a collection of both. Yeah, again, guy in a red, and once again he's filming. I'm not sure if you caught that. The guy in the red is responsible for capturing footage. Yeah, always seems to happen the same. Okay, let's look at some of the stuff from London. Unfortunately, this video isn't particularly large. Yeah, Jeff. Oh, AJ Wild in the chat also. Thanks for being with us. Jeff points out a one world government. Well, very strange coincidence if it isn't that that everywhere seems to be rioting all at once. By the way, here's the guy in the blue. He is a key character. Sorry, I don't think I can make it any larger than this. Let's see. Hang on. Floating player. Can I make the screen any bigger? Nope. Afraid not. No, I can't zoom on it, unfortunately. Nope. All that does is zooms in on the play button. So yeah, we'll have to... This is where the police are supposedly being sprayed by a... I mean, how ridiculous is that? A few police officers crouching back against a wall while people in... Majority of them are just wearing black and white, it would appear, while a couple of people decided to put on a red t-shirt while a red chair gets chucked at police. I mean, it looks real, but it looks good. Here we got someone in grey trashing a door. Yeah, I believe in this they're trying to get into a hotel that is housing all the immigrants, and supposedly the white supremacists are so enraged by this that they go around and trash the hotels. On the same night, people of Nigeria, Kenya, where other countries it was, wherever that's taken place, they all decided to get angry with their government on the same night. And there's the guy in red. I'm sure you can see two people, and one with his hood up is filming. Unfortunately, it's such a tiny postage stamp of a picture. And there's a guy in red behind, while the majority of people wear, yep, you guessed it, black and white, as they tackle the police. I think we see the police in a minute, and yeah, couple of guys in red. They're directing traffic, as it were, telling people where to go and what to do. Don't want to see a woman on the news. Let me skip over all this. Yep, here we go. Back to the footage. Woman in with a red cap, and they might look like police, but they don't have any police branding. Or this one does actually, but this woman at the front here, you wouldn't necessarily know that's a police officer. In fact, well, she's got something on her hat, but nothing on the front. She stood right next to a guy in a blue jacket, and then you've got your obvious red caps. So by very weird coincidence, not only did Nigeria and the United Kingdom decide on the same evening to riot, there's a guy in red riling up the crowd. I'm not sure if you can just see him at the back there, underneath the sign that on the wall that says Verge or something like that. Yeah, don't be distracted by the half-naked woman. That, yeah, probably is a distraction. They don't want you looking at that. Yeah, look at them rather than the guy in red that's directing the crowd. Right, some police officer talking. Not interested. Probably just telling people, make sure you live in fear this evening. And remember, without the police here, these rioters might turn on you with a last defense between you and an angry mob. What utter rubbish. That, I think, is how... Yeah, police cars getting kicked by... Look what everyone's wearing, by the way. Black and white. Everyone must have thought, we'll just wear our black and white hoodies today. No need to be original. Except for someone in purple that's filming. I bet the guy actually filming this has probably got a red jacket on. I wouldn't be at all surprised. A lot... Again, black, white, with the... There's Mr. Red, of course. They weren't going to leave out Mr. Red. They have to have him in every single shot for some reason. And that's because when they make videos of civil unrest, they have to do it in the same way. They're not going to change things up. Right. One more video. That was what happened in Sunderland and Liverpool, Hartlepool, Rotherham. All these places were scheduled to have a protest, which is the friendly way of saying, you know, it's the friendly version of a riot. All on the same night, but supposedly it was overtaken by the... Yeah, they call it far right to make it political, but... Well, yeah, politics probably does have a lot to do with it. It's still fabricated. Here, look what everyone's wearing, by the way. No one felt like wearing any colours on this particular day. Black and white. Back to back, black and white. With the odd... We got someone in green just in the middle there, squeezing through. This, I think, is the nearest you could... Perhaps they've seen my videos, my recent videos, where I'm... You know, not only me, there's other people pointing this stuff out as well, I'm sure. Pointing out, yeah, watch these videos and see everyone in their colour coding. If you think this is genuine rioting, because it isn't. It's utter... yeah, it's theatre. They obviously paid a lot, you know. A lot of people earning lots of money on this evening. There on this side, I think you've got a few people in red. Yeah, there was some... Hopefully I'll find it. It was footage of the police, and even they've got the odd police officer wearing red like it's a director. Again, just a big sea of people wearing black and white hoodies. With the occasional pink or something. Okay, we've got one or two more to watch. Have we? Yes, give us a second. Right, let me have a look at the live chat. We're not going to be streaming too long as it is quite late here in the United Kingdom. Jeff's eyes aren't good. No, to be honest, the display isn't particularly sharp. I will make that point. Right, what was the video I watched a little earlier? It was more of the same, I think you could say. More people getting angry. Hang on, we've got two more. We'll just line them up. Right. Okay, more footage of the riots. Yeah, and then we'll be bringing this stream to a close very soon. Once we've seen these. Right, this is from the YouTube channel James LE3, who, I mean, I would say yes, some of these are genuine people that have turned up for, who knows, but these are probably, yeah, this is the MP, or Labour MP, that got fired for supposedly inciting more hatred. I'm not sure what he said, but apparently you'll have to watch this video yourself. I will share a link to it. Yeah, James LE3 uploads some quite good videos. A lot of it are stuff that's been taken from other content producers, but I think they do put a link somewhere. I certainly appreciate people uploading people's videos again, or else a lot of them I wouldn't see. But yeah, there must have been something about that video. Okay, maybe it was this one I was thinking of. Right, this is police body cam. You've even got the timestamps up there. 3rd of the 8th, 2024. We have police clashing with people. Very shaky cam at the minute. This is where they're supposedly getting pelted with fireworks or petrol bombs. It does get more interesting. Okay, here we go. We've got a scene of what looks like a fire station. I'm not sure. I haven't got the audio on, so I don't know what words are being spoken. But yeah, a great blaze is taking place. Here people are. Look at what everyone's wearing. I do hope the picture is good enough for you to just happen to see. Everyone just so happens to be wearing black with the odd colour chucked in. Someone has got a black hoodie up. But yeah, there's your directors. Now these are the police. Again, from the point of view of the coppers. See, we got videos on every angle. Look at this guy directing the police. Happens to have red lapels and red branding on his top. That's not to say these aren't really police, but it just seems that the same colour coding is used on both sides. The police are directed by people with red lapels. No idea why. I'm not a police officer, never been, so couldn't tell you. But while most of the police wear black, just like the protesters, they've got the odd person with a bit of colour. Anyway, yeah, they've certainly managed to come out with some great footage, very entertaining. But just like WWE, it's all scripted. And yeah, I would say the colours go beyond the colour coding. Seems a lot, it's not just on this civil unrest footage that we get to see where you see people wearing these same colours all the time. And this is, I think, the police taking someone down. Morgan later admitted to violent disorder and possession of an offensive weapon. They've named someone that got arrested in the riots. Wow. Has he had his, oh, he's admitted it, okay. But, right, Southport riot. This will be the last little bit of footage we'll watch before we bring the stream to a close. We do have an ad. I will put links to these videos in the description if anyone wants to watch them for themselves. I cannot put links out to anything away from YouTube on YouTube, but on Rumble I can put links to the videos on. But that's not very good. They've blurred out all the video. How rubbish is that? This is the police getting into a fight. With just the occasional shot of some. Oh, this is the guy who got arrested. I see. That was a fun job for some video editor. They had to apply. It probably wouldn't have been that difficult, but they had to apply a blurring around everyone that wasn't him. Look at what everyone's wearing through the police through the glass of the police guard. Most people dressed in black with a few bright greens and a blue. This, I would say, also equally colour-coded. The people in blue are the directors. Looks great, you know, looks brilliant, looks very hardcore, but it is probably it gives the police an opportunity to practice, gives people an opportunity to see how futile resisting your government is. This is what lengths you can go to, apparently, to disagree with your government. Won't make a blind bit of difference. You'll change nothing. You can riot all night long if you want. You'll have not one jot of effect on anything. By the way, I do wonder, more footage. Yeah, I recommend you checking a lot of this stuff out for yourselves. It's all out there. If you ever see it on the news, if you're unfortunate enough to be watching the news, look out for the people in red, because 9 times out of 10 they'll appear. And they're your directors. Okay, it is probably time to start bringing things to an end, as it's getting close to midnight here in the United Kingdom. I see Crystal Smith in the chat. Phil Wright. Phil mentions people who pass away. Yeah, it seems to be any time a death is, you know, a big deal, then I would say it's probably part of the script. If the Sun newspaper are going out of their way to make sure you know that, let's say, anyone has kicked the bucket, so to speak, then you can guarantee. Yeah, let's just say it's quite horrible. It's quite a disgusting thought, but deaths that make it onto the front pages are rarely those of genuine people. It's normally like people. I've covered stories such as Deborah James, who was a celebrity cancer sufferer, if you've ever heard of anything so ridiculous. MPs that get attacked, again, civil unrest. Lee Rigby, that kind of nonsense. I'm sure you've come across it yourself. So yeah, I'm with you on that one, Jeff. I can't disagree with you. Sorry, was it Jeff or Phil? Phil, my apologies. And Jeff pointed out a red leader. Yeah, it always seems to be, actually going back over old footage now that I've seen, like when I covered the police interceptors a long time ago, and it seems that they also use red as, like when you watch programs like Police Interceptors, if they ever do a big takedown on the street, supposedly in public, just look out for the red markings, because it will be letting the police officer and the assailant know this is where this is where the cameras are going to be. So yeah, stand here. So much of what's presented as actual news, television, is little more than television drama. At least that's my outlook on it, and a very positive outlook it is. Once you know not to be afraid of the rubbish you hear on the news, your life becomes abundantly more relaxing. Like if I was, for example, afraid that, oh no, rioting's kicking off outside my front door, are we all going to be trampled to death? Then, well, it'd be quite a miserable life if you took that sort of rubbish serious. Yeah, not to say people don't protest, people don't gather and protest, but the stuff that makes it on TV isn't going to be what you attend, unless you've been told to attend wearing a certain colour. Okay, right, I could ramble all night at this rate, so it simply leaves for me to say a few thank yous. Firstly, thanks to absolutely anyone that's taken the time to show up here this evening, especially those of you in the live chat, which is Jeff, Phil, Crystal Smith, AJ Wild, Gene Cam, Graham, and Jeff Gashead. Get Jeff Gashead if I haven't already mentioned him. Also, thanks to the names on the screen, they've taken the time to check out some of the links that can be found on Rumble if you're watching over on Rumble. Other places you can find my work that aren't YouTube. Also, if you want to know another way of showing your appreciation for tonight's stream and you want to hit the thumbs up button before you close out or go on to another video, then I would say muchas gracias, which I believe is Spanish for thanks ever so much. Very educational. By the way, Crystal's thanking us for the information. Absolutely welcome. And yeah, there's a bit of foreign language to bless your weekend with, if you weren't. Jeff says 3 years for rioting, 0 time for child. Yeah, absolutely, Jeff. Unfortunately, I can't put the live chat on. It doesn't seem to be working. Let me try one more time. But yeah, you make a good point. How yeah, anyone that appears to take part in this is always reported to get very heavy penalties, whereas people can do some other pretty horrific, vile crimes and not have any comeback at all. Okay, by the way, I am coming back this Sunday. I've just served a week's suspension, so I wasn't able to do part 9 of our Sunday segment of Stanley Plotkin's legal deposition. We're coming to the end of it now. We've got a couple more parts. Yeah, that will be on my channel if you want to check that out. If you're not familiar with Stanley Plotkins, he was considered the father of vaccines. We've been spending an hour every Sunday just watching part of it and just seeing how he handled some of the questions he's asked on the production of his product. Yeah, the last one, by the way, on YouTube was taken down for medical misinformation, so the only place you can now watch all of that is BitChute's got some of them, but Rumble has all 8 parts of the Stanley Plotkins watch along. But YouTube have 7 of the 8. BitChute also have 7 of the 8. Rumble have all 8. Okay, thank you ever so much for watching. I'll be back again on Sunday. I do hope you can make it then. And yeah, it's great to see some numbers on YouTube. Maybe this is a better time of night for doing it. My plan for Thursday evening live streams was to do them earlier because a few people said, "Oh, your live streams are just on too late." So I tried doing them earlier. But yeah, anyway, that's the analytics which no one cares about. Okay, have a wonderful weekend, by the way. And of course, my recommendation, as always, Sabbath days are there to be observed. Always make sure you thank God for blessing you for seeing another Sabbath day or another weekend. That is my advice. And I'm finally going to say thanks for watching. Back Sunday. Over and out. Good night.
Have you ever used orphans to study an experimental vaccine?
Yes.